Hello class, today we will be learning about the rules of the road in sailing. So, does anybody know anything about the rules of the road? No. No? Okay, so there's three major components. It's starboard and port, windwards and leewards, and overtaking boat rule. And we'll also be going over how to avoid collisions when you're on the water. So the first rule is starboard and port. So starboard is the right side of the boat, as you can see there, and port means the left side of the boat. And starboard always has the right of way. So does anybody know how you can know if you're on a starboard tack or a port tack? No? Okay. Well, you know if you're a starboard tack if you're sitting on the right side of the boat, because starboard means right, and port tack is if you're on the left side of the boat. So on a port tack, your sails will be on the starboard side, and on the starboard tack, your sails will be on the port tack side. And starboard tack always has the right of way. So in this scenario, these two people are trying to go up here, and this guy has the right of way because he's on a starboard tack, and this guy's on a port tack. So he has to duck under or tack up, so this guy can go his course. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Second major rule is windwards and leewards. So on the windward side is the side that the wind is on, as you can see here, and the leeward side is the side that the wind is not on. So the leeward, I like to think of it as the wind is behind the sails. The wind is coming on the sails, so there's no wind behind the sails, so you know it's leeward, and windward is where the wind is hitting the sails, so there's obviously wind. And leeward always has a right of way. As you can see in this scenario, there's two boats, and this boat is windwards of the other boat, and this boat is leewards. So they have less maneuvering ability, so he has a right of way. So this guy would yell leeward really loud, so this boat would know, and he can go wherever he wants, and this guy has to get out of the way. Is everyone clear on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Donovan.
So the third major rule is the overtaking boat rule. So when overtaking, the boat in front of you has the right of way. So this guy here wants to overtake this person, and this guy has the right of way, so he has to do whatever he can do to get out. But you must give way and overtake the leeward side. So the leeward side, this is the windward side, so this is always the leeward side where the wind is not on, and he has to, if he wants to overtake, he has to go on the leeward side, and this guy can go wherever he wants because he has the right of way. So now we'll go over avoiding collisions. So does anybody have any good ideas before reading this? How you can avoid collisions?
No, by looking at further boats.
Yeah, so always check your surroundings before changing course or altering your route. So does anybody have any ideas of what you could bump into maybe on the water?
Buoys.
Rocks. Rocks, and yeah, that's pretty good.
Islands.
Islands, yeah, you could always go into those. So yeah, I was meaning like other boats and rocks. So it's important to have your crew keep an eye out. So if you're crewing, it's always keep your skipper informed of what you might see, so you don't bump into rocks. Another thing that's important is when you're tacking, you must yell tacking as loud as you can. So your crew, if you're crewing, they can duck under the boom, and other boats know that you're changing your route, so they can avoid you. And that goes for any command. If you're jibing, yell jibing. If you're leewards of another boat and you want to have the right of way, just yell leewards. If you're starboard, yell starboard. And if you don't have the right of way, never try to take it, even if you think the other boat might not be like up to standards under that. Always yield, so if there's an accident, you won't be the one to blame. And if you're sailing close to other boats, so if there's a lot of boats in the same area, try to keep clear of the boats. So and never try to get really close to a boat on purpose, because that could end in a collision, and that's never fun. And for me, the most important thing is communication. So communicating with other boats and communicating with your crew and skipper, so everyone knows where you're going and everyone can avoid you, and there's no collision, because collisions are expensive for boats and people might get injured, so that's never good. Does anybody have any questions? Rupert?
So what if you have the right of way, but the other guy driving isn't listening?
Sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can happen. Maybe they're just kind of mean and they don't want to give you the right of way. So never just try to go. It's always best, even if you're the right of way, even if you're racing, don't go into them. Don't collide with them, because that could damage the boat, that could hurt other people, and maybe you can just complain about them later and that will be dealt with. All good? Ellie?
Well, what if you have the right of way, but the other boat's like a huge commercial one that
Oh.
you're kind of scared of? Should
Yeah.
you go anyway, or should you just
Well,
like
these
back
rules
off?
mostly apply to sailboats. If this other guy has a huge commercial boat that obviously would have trouble avoiding you if you're sailing in front of them, never try to mess with them. You would have much less trouble getting out of their way than they would have getting out of yours, so it's always best to steer as clear as you can of the big boats. Okay, Kurt?
What if it's windy and you can't hear the other person?
That's a good question. Well, they should be watching out for you, so if they can't hear you, yell lures, and you think they don't see you, get out of their way. So it's always never try to take someone's way, if you know you have the right way, unless you know they know you're there. So it's always best to avoid collisions because they can be expensive. Good? Okay. So need some markers. Next we're gonna do a little activity with the right of way. And you guys are gonna help me fill this in. So the first scenario we have is these two boats, they both went around the buoy. So does anybody know which one would have the right of way? Yes, that's right, we were this guy. Do you know why?
Because he's starboard?
Yeah,
He's on starboard
He's on
tack.
starboard tack. Because he is would be sitting on the right side of the boat. This guy would be sitting on the left side, so he has a right of way. Do you want to take a marker and draw me where he would go? Yeah, can you mark which one's starboard tack and which one's port?
This one's starboard. What do I do?
Right starboard.
Nice.
Okay.
I cannot
Is
read.
everybody clear on that? Any questions?
Yeah, where's the other one go?
The other guy would have to either
Wait,
jump around behind him, or he can miss the boot if he wants. Or he can slow down and wait, but he has to make sure that guy can go wherever he wants. So the second scenario, this one, I'll explain this one because some people might not understand it. So if there's two boats going head on, does anybody have an idea what they would do?
Isn't this guy in irons?
No. Okay, let's pretend he's not irons. He would technically be, it's a bad picture, but let's pretend he's not.
Would they both go to the right?
Yeah, they would both go to the right because it's starboard over port. So this guy would bear off, and this guy would head up. So I'm just going to draw this for you. And they would both be yelling, starboard, so they know what they're doing. But it's always a better idea to go to the right because that's the universal rule pretty much. So, the third rule we have, or the third scenario, is this one. Does anybody know what would happen here? They're both trying to go around the mark. Kurt?
One on the right would go first.
Actually, no. Does anybody know why that's wrong?
Because like lured has right of way.
Yes. This guy is lured, so he would have the right of way. You want to fill that in? Where he would go?
So he would go around. And then this guy would have to slow down.
Well, no, this guy can just go
Oh,
like this.
head for it.
So this guy's lured, and he has the right of way, and this guy is lured, and he has to yield. All good? So the fourth one we have for this one, and does anybody know what this guy, well, he wants to overtake. So what does he have to do? Rupert?
He has to go around left here.
Yes, who has right of way?
The dude in front.
Yeah, this guy has right of way, so Ellie is going to draw where he goes.
What, the person in front?
No, he wants to overtake.
He's going to the left.
Yes, to the leeward, so he doesn't take the other guy's wind. Yeah, that's good. So this guy, if he wants to take this boat, doesn't have to change his course, he just has to go leeward, and then he can merge back in front where he wants to go. Okay, since we're all done with all this, next we're gonna do a little activity. So I'm gonna make two groups, one group of 3 and one group of 2. It's gonna be you 3 and you 2. And I'm gonna give you a scenario here on a piece of paper, and you guys are gonna act it out. And once you're gonna act out the wrong way, and once you're gonna act out the right way, and the other group's go to guess which one's wrong and which one's right. So I have a soccer ball as a buoy here, and we can go over there where there's room. So I'm going to put this ball right here as a buoy. What team wants to go first? Kurt, how about you?
Okay.
Show us the wrong way.
The wrong way. Right there. Now, hold this. I go. And he goes.
collided.
Because he was on a port tack, but he
Like behind.
didn't yell start. He was on a port tack and he didn't comply with the rules at all, so they got it wrong. So let's show the right way.
Okay,
Yell start.
I'm here. I yell starboard, and I go around. He goes behind me.
Yes, that is right. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so team 2.
Okay.
Good. I go
How do
here.
we do this wrong?
Oh,
How about I just walk it?
you go.
This one. Okay. And say like,
Uh
oh my god, we collided.
oh. Uh oh.
Okay, what was wrong about that?
They didn't apply to the rules at all.
Yes, Rupert, who was lured?
I'm lured.
Yeah, she was lured, but she just decided to go. Oh no.
Nope.
She was lured, but
But the windward.
Rupert decided to go ahead. That's wrong.
Pretty
So do you
rude.
want to show us the right way?
Okay.
Okay, so I have to yell lured so that Rupert knows that I should go first.
So you
And then I-
yell lured, and
Then we
Then
go
I go around.
that's very nice, guys. Very nice. Round of applause. Well done. Does anybody have any questions anymore about right away? You all good?
Never mind.
No one's gonna collide on the water.
Hopefully.